which personally I'm having an absolute riot with. And then the
last time they gave you a portal, man, I know what happened. You have a medal around your neck.
I've got my Evo medal. I'm looking right at it, mate. It's right there, and I did this. I sat in the armor, and now
he just sat in an armored portal and watched it happen. And I saw that clip catch up. It's got me a little bit worried. In front of our eyes.
All I'm saying, mate, is it's good to be back. But what is even better is this Mileena matchup. Hourglass of Rain versus Dexy Dog, and almost immediately different cameos. So it's not quite a mirror match.
And I've got something really big to say about this. I just witnessed this match a couple of weeks ago on the Coliseum. Dexy Dog and Hourglass had a Mileena off of the century. Hourglass had been one of the most dominant forces in Coliseum history in the past year. Dexy Dog came out, pulled off the upset, and won the entire week. So this is a run back, and he did it with Mileena Lau just a week ago. Now going to try it with the Mileena Serena, and here we go. Getting the first big hit that we see of this combo, and it's in for over 400 juicy Mileena eating damage, baby.
Now, the way I immediately see this going is that there could be a bit of an advantage here for Dexy, because anyone that's been watching recent online pro comps, especially the EU side, that kind of ambush Serena, the meter drain, doesn't really get used versus Lau to drain meter. It's to block the low hats. So if you have anything that can pop in front, absorb a low hat that's coming in, especially post-patch, that low hat's going to take longer to come back. So having a cameo trade-off actually works out better for the defender this time over.
That puddle of Serena is, I feel like, what's becoming more and more, prevalent with that cameo. Even against zoners, it takes away so many things. Even against a Rain that can put out the anti-projectile bubble, it gets rid of that. I don't know what it does against Peacemaker's force field, but it's such a force once it's on the screen. In the meter drain, we were talking about before going live. Even back in the MK9 days, meter drain is so effective. If you can stop a break, you can kill someone, and that's what makes it so strong.
That's what I love about that Quan Chi move, mate. If you get them stuck in that new portal, they have like 98% all the time. They just never have 100%.
And here at MK1, I feel like this game has the most meter generation of any Mortal Kombat that's existed. So if you can stop a breaker, that's probably going to happen 3 times a match. You're doing something.
And almost immediately, we're trying to keep things a lot safer. You know, 1-2 into the Serena flip. Obviously, both of these players are going to be more than familiar with the 1-2 flawless block. So it comes down to what kind of cameo you can throw on top of it to just make things a bit safer. So it'll be low hat for Hourglass, it'll be flip kick for Dexy. And there's a confirm. Corner combo, of course. Lovely. By the way, that flip kick's -3 on block, so it's a 3 mid check.
Oh, got caught possibly standing right there. Preston going for a stand one. Oh, Lau's out. And when Lau's out with Mileena, you have to kind of freeze, because teleport's a threat. The defensive Dexy knows to wait it out. Has seen that before, uses it himself, and will take game number 1 against Hourglass. And for those of you just now tuning in, Hourglass of Rain is who put Sonic Fox into losers with the Mileena Lau. I believe it was a Game 5 classic that went down, but Dexy is going to draw first blood here and says Serena might be the latest sauce.
I honestly think in the mirror match situation, I mean, Mileena in particular, I kind of see the Serena giving Dexy a little bit of an edge here. I'm kind of just looking at what the cameos are providing, and all right, what's low hat doing for the most part? And I say low hat because that really is, for the most part, the only thing you're going to be using Lau cameo for with Mileena. There are other characters that might use more. You know, look no further than Liu Kang, but for Mileena, it's all about that low hat. Serena is going to give you better range control, also having a faster cooldown projectile now, especially thanks to the recent change to low hat cooldown. The full screen combo potential thanks to double knives, the mid check of the flip kick, which can double up as a decent reversal that's faster than Mileena's armored reversal. I mean, I kind of think that Dexy Dog just has a little bit more tools to play around with, Aqua.
It looks like he's using the straight shot of Serena too to kind of check the Lau hat summon from Hourglass to even stop that kind of set play happening full screen. I saw them just kind of keep checking each other with it too. The Lau hat a little less of a cooldown though, and it looks like that was the difference maker, as once the Lau hat came out without Serena, Hourglass was able to play. Neutral reset here. We'll see the cameos start to come back. That's really what this is all about, just letting the cameos come back. Went for the 4 shot. Thought he was going to catch a stray there, but doesn't. Hourglass.
I mean, you're going to have to pay some real close attention to those cooldowns all the time, because, you know, for those that aren't sure, that low hat cooldown being adjusted really mostly affects when you hold it. For any amount of time, you could hold it for a frame, and as long as it's being held, that cooldown becomes a lot longer. So it means that you've got to be a little bit more tactical. Nice release. Speaking of which, allows Dexy to go in, eats it, and there you go, a full combo back to mid-screen.
But there was one of the biggest changes because he held it. Lau was on cooldown for quite some time, and in that cooldown, Hourglass just says, "Stay away from me until I get this man back." Okay, now we can play. That's with a full charge. One of the most disrespectful moves I've ever seen. Have you ever seen anyone stop that from happening? Everyone just stares at it.
I think you can up-block it, but you're going to have to be, like, just looking into a crystal ball to know when they're going to release it. I certainly have never done it.
Fight.
Once it's on the screen, it just feels like such a force. Just does a straight Lau hat, which, again, less cooldown, so you see him coming back real quick in the top left of the screen. There he is.
We are about to have fully loaded Serena, and there goes one, immediately checking it. Spending both on the fast knife, but again, fast recharge on that single knife toss. And this is such an interesting mirror match, you know, because they have such similar ranges they can be effective, but it is just the small details of who's got more to play with, and that's kind of why I like the Serena here. Good block. Oh, that's a big punish. And the breaker is going to be used here, but with 2 bars of meter, we're about to get full Serena again. Hourglass, I mean, look, the number one thing you don't want to do right now is get hit, because that's like 400 damage at least, maybe set up into the end of the game.
Yeah, no, it's probably kill territory count now here with the double Serena.
All it takes is 1 or 2, you know, the overhead lows. Mileena, she has got technically a 50-50. It's not going to result in a full combo all the time, but you can't react to it.
Man, these two are completely frozen while they're cameo-less right now. Mileena, afraid to do all her special moves in a situation like this because that's where she's going to be the most negative. Ball roll, teleport, just not covered by cameo. Risking your life. Oh, that's out, and heavy answer board. Are you kidding me? Someone's been doing their homework.
5 seconds on the clock. Not that that's even going to matter because we get that second round almost completely even on meter. And again, when this round begins, we're going to basically have full cameos both sides.
I asked if anyone has ever done something about that, and here we are. The answer to Lau had teleport, jump back. Moving from Dexy Dog.
I've got to say, Aqua, I don't mean this as a disrespect to these two players. There has been an uncharacteristic lack of ball rolls. Maybe I've seen the wrong Mileenas online in Combat League.
Hey, when
in tournament,
I saw when Hourglass tweeted about the victory over Sonic Fox, the first thing someone said was, "Did you ball roll less?" And Hourglass said, "Yes, finally."
It's got to take a lot of discipline as a Mileena player to just not pull the trigger on that instant, low-profiling, launching, fast move, you know?
I know what the next meta already is with this character catch-up is, and it's going to be Chameleon, where we get ball roll and ball roll. It's going to be ball roll into ball roll. I think that's the meta that's coming with this character.
Ball roll into Janet. Into Janet mix-ups.
Wait, Janet kind of scares me after the preview with Peacemaker.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
I'll say it.
I too am nervous, but who also is going to be nervous could be Dexy Dog in this situation. Needs to do a pretty impressive comeback. I mean, technically has the resources to make it happen. 2 bars of meter, fatal blow, and we are going to hit a Serena, so that's a full combo. Spend the fatal blow because
that looks really
honestly,
low.
Why not?
Full conversion of breaker for Hourglass. Not a ton of unbreakable damage that Mileena possesses here.
And just like that, with 1 fatal blow, we are straight back in it. Covers the advance. Lovely block on that low. That's a 50-50. Could have been the end of the game. 10 seconds.
And now, oh, it's a random special time. Has to wait about Lau and walks right up into an active normal. Hourglass goes right for the throat with the sigh.
Good choice.
And in a battle of 2 clones for 1 throne. We're all tied up at 1-1.
I think that was overall, though, a decent choice. I mean, from that range, it almost looked a little bit like they both had the same button in mind. It's just Hourglass of Rain was just that little bit faster on it, which is the nature of a mirror match, I suppose. But every possibility of going into a game 5. You know, you take character specialists that you kind of watch them in tournament. They so rarely use anybody else that when the mirror happens, that's kind of where the knowledge has its biggest test. You know, it's even if people don't realize it, they find that when you play a mirror match, you know the options against your own character, so most of them tend to get exploited. And Mileena, I mean, she's a pretty prominent one to know because of all the flaws, block timings, the weird kind of ranges you can abuse.
It's been Hourglass who's the one that's been a lot more walk-back heavy, too. It's been Dexy who's been the aggressor. This is probably the... I don't want to say the lamest, but this has been the most reserved I've ever seen him with the Lau cameo. He's been very just throw the straight shot, playing the checks and balances right now, and not taking any risks whatsoever.
Ooh, delicious little block there from Dexy Dog, I have to say. But I think to kind of echo that point you made, Akra, I think a big part of that might be the fact that now the low hat, I mean, look at that recharge time. It may not seem like much if you're like, you know, a new viewer or something, but that low hat used to be a lot faster. And it just, you know, it frankly means you have to be more selective over when the right time to use it is, which naturally might force a slower game plan while you're picking your spot to throw it out there.
So before, you could put up the Lao hat, do a full charge on it, do something, get some kind of pickup, do a full combo, land, set up Lao hat again. Kind of different this time around if it's the charge hat that you opened up with. Hourglass is starting to come alive, though, so mixes are working. That's a nice ball spot there by Dexy. Trying to hit one to himself, says, where are you backdashing to, young man? Welcome back to the corner. Boom.
Getting a bit brave. I mean, you're -3 after that low hat, and you try and press a button near the end, and that's only ever going to end one way. Brave breaker. Fatal blow. Ready to go. A trade.
Ball roll,
7 seconds.
Was close to giving him the lead here, too. Gotta do something.
Hourglass, you gotta make something happen, mate. That was kind of, I mean, what else can you do? You have 3 seconds. You either bull roll your way in, teleport, or try and dash. But by the time you've dashed, you've got no time. I mean, you had to try something.
If he possibly would have done that with 1 second remaining where it was unpunishable, it looked like it may have chipped to around the time. It may have given him like a 1 HP lead. That was a real crazy interaction. I liked what he was trying. He just had too much time to lose the health at the end. Dexy, regaining the lead. Lao hat stopping him. Not your turn. And there's the walk back from Hourglass. When he's Lao-less, he just wants to get him back. That's his number one priority right now.
Absolutely. Just keep one eye on that cameo regeneration permanently.
He was in the other corner, and he backdashed to this corner from where he was. And so has the balls to try to sigh his way out there, too.
Could have been a full combo, but either didn't dedicate or just didn't quite get the right button you wanted. All right, Serena enforcing that sweep. Again, those really simple overhead lows, but they can be so crucial to Mileena's game plan. You need to make the opponent sweat. The moment they hesitate, they get hit by a mid, they get hit by the 1-2, whatever it is you're trying to throw out, really. And even then, Mileena's down 1. Yeah, can we talk about how far that goes?
Look at that. I mean, we're right there. Woke up with it knowing that it would kind of cover that space that you're trying to like 1-2 at a max distance.
It's like a Sub-Zero down 1 right there.
Oh, that thing's frosty.
My favorite. And another timeout is upon us. If neither player wants to crazy overextend, and that is going to be a pickup. Combo's not going to kill, but the timeout certainly will, and doesn't need to push too far forward. Happy to keep the mid screen. Can't say I'm surprised to see the timeouts go this way, because neither player is like crazy overextending, nor do they have a cameo that can really allow them to do that. The Kung Lao cameo forces a slower game plan thanks to the patch, and Serena a lot more neutral focused.
How about getting that hit kind of on your own, you know, relying on your character for the hit versus the cameo. That's a little bit different. That's the big difference in the game plan.
Absolutely. And because that Lao low hat is not as common as it once was, you're just not going to have as many of those weird situations where you throw a hat, charge it, teleport your way in, make it safe.
And then do it again.
Absolutely. I mean, you just don't have those same opportunities. All right, speaking of, doesn't quite get the button. Dash in 50-50 again. Enforce. This time shows respect after the low hat. Hourglass did get tagged before. All right, hang on.
Oh, goes for the old school setup, and there it is. Even caught the stray. Serena in the background. Hourglass takes hold of this set.
If there is one thing cameo wake-ups just cannot do, I mean, I know they are, and don't crucify me here, cameo wake-up attacks are historically not very strong. I think the only one that I would say is genuinely a good wake-up is probably Mileena's bull roll, just because of the reward that it gathers.
That thing, dude.
Most of these cameo wake-ups, they do have brief invincibility, but they feel vulnerable to things that would otherwise armor break, like attacks that hit quickly in succession.
Yep.
So, you know, trying to wake up there with the Serena flip, a decent idea on paper. However, with that overhead on the way, paired with the low hat, that was just like 2 or 3 hits happening really within a microsecond. Pretty sure that crushes most wake-up attacks. It's hard to explain, but I feel like the mechanics of a wake-up, they struggle against multiple hits. All right, though.
It's giving Hourglass a lead.
Yeah, 2-1 to Hourglass of Brain. I mean, It'd be one hell of a confidence boost, Aqua. I mean, you send Sonic Fox to losers getting into top 8 winner's side, and then you defeat a incredibly prominent online Mileena that you have history with, recent history.
Yeah, recent history. Hourglass is going for the run of his life right now.
Yeah.
And for everyone watching, this isn't said a lot on these qualifiers, but each and every one of these online qualifiers for the pro competition has $2,500 on the line. I don't know if that's not talked about a lot. Not a lot of people apparently know this, but $2,500 for each one of these qualifiers. So not only are they looking at the 200 grand for Final Combat, but they're looking at this money right now. Money's on the line, and so every win matters.
We're getting through the year. I mean, we are not particularly far away from Combo Breaker in the grand scheme of things, which is that 4th and final offline qualifier.
Combo Breaker, and this is qualifier number 2 of 3. Each region has 3 online qualifiers. Only your top 2 performances out of the 3 are going to count. Top 16 in each of the qualifiers is going to get points towards the pro competition. If you guys like to, check out the website. You see the full rules and explanation of the pro competition. Dexy catching another one.
Wild to think, Aqua, that this is just our first match of the day. You kind of expect it to be as close as it currently is, especially with the slightly slower play. They've been constantly hunting each other, yet we've had a million timeouts already. I think that's just the defense shining right there. Speaking of which, though, opened up by just a mid.
All that off a gorgeous whip punish to the forward 4 that Hourglass tried meeting with backdash by Dexy. Got the smooth punish. Backdashes in the whip punishes in this game look so smooth. There's something about the backdash animations that I really enjoy into a whip punish. So strong in the meta right now. Doing something, backdash check. Catch someone swinging.
If you have that advancing button, it's a perfect way to answer back. Wow, okay, full combo. Hourglass of Rain. Has to fight back here. Could still technically win this game, but it's going to be a lot of work.
Oh, he was baiting for something and hit advantage of the Lao hat right there. Thought he was going to try to disrespect with some armor, maybe.
That's it. Hang on. Fatal blow. That's the round. I'm sure that's the round. Actually, no, wait. Serena extra 50.
10-10-50.
If Dexy Dog survives with just a tiny amount, it will be Serena to thank.
Wake up ball roll. Wake up ball roll.
Oh, that's a Serena. I mean, that counts, but damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation, I think.
Fight.
Maybe a full hold to counter the hold of the Lao?
Yeah, you would have had to have done, like, the perfect decision. Of which it is right now, match point for Hourglass of Rain. This will result in a impressive win on its own, but a guaranteed 3rd place finish, at least.
There's those cameo checks. Oh no, not both of them doing a Psy at just outside of max range, and they both whip. Psy in this game doesn't go full screen. Only goes about 3/4 screen. Something that really changed things up about the Mileena game plan here at MK1. It's the throw.
Laugh, said Shujinko cameo. Haha, my Psy goes full screen. The master of everything.
When's someone gonna pick Shujinko on the pro comp? I'm gonna say it. I'm saying it on the pro competition right now. I want to see some Shujinko.
I'd love to see it. You need the right matchup, though. However, by the way, nice little 1-2 pickup. Low hat. Oh no. Got ahead of yourself. Release that block too early.
Hourglass only had a couple of instances where he's able to get that kind of firepower going with a knockdown and a full Kung Lao release. He's sitting back with a pretty health lead right now. Says, you're going to have to come to me, young man, just like you have this entire set. I'm going to weather and wear that health bar down. He just right here into the throw, and that will be a 3-1 victory. I lied right to your face. The 50 HP got us again, but what are you going to do? It's almost another checkmate situation. She can teleport. She can roll. She can put out Lao and do it all, and it's into a absolute brutality. I was fairly convinced that throw wasn't going to kill, but I did not interrupt you for the one reason of there being 1 hit left after the grab, and there being a bunch of meter and a full Kung Lao. I'm like, even if this throw doesn't kill, you're not going to survive it. Because there's like, you would have had to have just done like, you know those really awkward comebacks where you have to basically hard commit to like one option every time, and you just have to pray every time it's the right one, otherwise even on block you're dead. That's the kind of comeback that Dexy Dog would have had to make. So and he was forced into that a couple of times where you saw him have to just let it rip and pray.
Hey look, that was a really good way to start this broadcast, because just to remind you all, you know, these two players have some recent history, playing very recently in Aqua's very own Coliseum, as you said at the beginning of the series. And with Hourglass of Rain being so unbelievably dominant in the online space, it was Dexy that recently was able to get the win, right? And that was very, very recent. So this is, I think, a very personal run back for Hourglass of Rain. And, I mean, you defeated Sonic Fox to get into top 8 winners side. And now you have this minimum top 3 placing, getting into winners finals, where now you're going to wait for the winner of King Gambler or Rewind.
I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of something about Hourglass. It could be his realm that King Gambler's actually playing in here, catch up. This is why the difference between the offline portion and the offline portion is going to come into play.
It's really important for King Gambler. And that's one thing I just keep constantly reminding myself of, is just how hard this player has been just dedicating to Mortal Kombat 1. And as I've said earlier, currently the most traveled of the competitive MK1 players, but doesn't have as much points as I definitely think he would want, because of just a couple of placings not going as high as he would have been after. A minimum second place here, winning this winners finals and getting at least second. Those points alone are going to be really important for Gambler. Sadly though, I think that was a forward 4, probably meant to be a shadow kick into Goro, I imagine. But either way, hard to call this one actually, because, you know, Hourglass of Rain constantly just impressing week after week. Very comfortable online.
And hasn't given up his day 1 team either, or made any changes since the hotfixes. Has just stuck it out. Let Mileena allow. The game plan is still there, just a little bit less often, and only on the hold. It's a nice back throw for the positioning. And mind game 1, is the overhead going to come? Is the stagger going to come? That's the lethality of Mileena's pressure right now. Back to the corner, you go off the backflip. I've seen that back variation an awful lot. And Hourglass already showing the disrespect of Goro that Mileena can't possess with a low profile ability. Sees Goro, or even thinks that some kind of Goro setup is coming, whether it be shadow kicking a Goro. There you see the overhead in the Goro, which I've only really seen Gambler go for, which is a sexy little setup. But Hourglass is having none of it early.
The overhead into Goro is definitely deliberate. There's just certain ranges where I'm not 100% sure if that's the intention. Then again, I can't 100% remember if it's the same input. So proves how much I know about Johnny Cage, but either way.
Do you think there's a visual trick behind it? Because it may look like the start of a shadow kick or something. And they're still going to catch someone crouching.
Oh, the fake low. That fake low was disgusting.
And isn't
it? Lets it go far too early so that you try and do it, and then before you know it, a meaty overhead is on the way. That was just such a cheeky maneuver.
And air cipher Mileena is unbreakable, right?
I believe so.
Gross ending.
Believe so.
Even Gambler giving up the respect in that one.
Pretty convincing first game. Hourglass of Rain looking comfortable.
That one Goro setup got blown up, and it feels like he didn't really get to play much of Mortal Kombat 1 since that. We'll see if we can play a little bit in this one. Has Prince Goro on his back, and he's got the best Prince Goro outfit, the purple Prince Goro.
Okay.
As it should be.
Now I'm triggered.
Honestly, anyone that ever watched that original Mortal Kombat movie would never have expected Johnny Cage and Goro to work side by side. This is where you fall down.
You know, some of the best teams started off as rivals and bitter hated enemies.
True. Cool.
Wow. Even when Johnny texts a throw, the crowd goes crazy for him. That's crazy.
Biased crowd. We're not even in a North American tournament. What's up with that?
Johnny's just pissed that he's not at the Oscars right now.
Yeah, very true.
He's already got his award though.
I gotta fight these people. I've only got my 2 fists. This person's got like 2 weapons out.
He's out there fighting for Earth Realm right now. For all of us, catch up. He's our savior.
Won't be able to upload any of his footage until he gets home though, because I doubt there's Wi-Fi here in Outworld.
Johnny's so smart in diversifying his content. You see him recording his cameo beating up Mileena right there. Recording that for later. Very smart.
See, you can chop it up and pretend that he won, even if he loses, you see. That's the one match that matters. That's the one that's going on YouTube, you know? Anyway, 2-1-2.
Yeah, only the hit. Get something going. Bait it out of teleport. Hourglass. A rare, like, panic special. Sorry.
Yeah, it's an important bait to enforce because, you know, if there's all this momentum for Hourglass of Rain, that kind of almost preemptive armor is just a great way of saying, hang on a minute, you need to slow down a little bit because I'm still here. I'm not going to let you get away with whatever you want.
It's one of the keys to holding on to momentum is the moment that it's not your turn, do something wild so that it's going back to being your turn at any means necessary.
And the real experienced players will expect that. Flawless block, there's the knowledge. There's only a few things that you can do after the 1-2 that won't leave you vulnerable. Now, I'm not sure if Johnny Cage can interrupt the low hat, but I know that some cameos, like, they demand you do one option, otherwise you will get punished for 1-2. Punish.
If that was a high punish on a low side, that could have whiffed. Kind of scared to go for the stand 2. Oh, and the plus frames of Goro, you're holding the grab. Hefty lead for Gambler for the first time here, swinging for his life, and Hourglass responds in kind with a 1-2 of his own.
That shadow kick was super brave, by the way, because there was no Goro on the other side of that. He was miles away from being ready. Hit confirm. Hang on, Gambler. Looking to make it 1-1 at the moment.
He's got Goro and Bar here. Don't be shocked if you see an EX shadow kick Goro coming. Ooh, big whiff from Gambler down for it.
No, that's not going to work. Goro has time? I kind of expected Goro to hit
interrupt it.
Fatal blow.
Couple things. Goro not hitting it, and Johnny safe enough to recover from the shadow kick.
Pretty surprising.
And how
I guess
crazy
that's
is that
just
Goro's bicep is bigger than Johnny's head.
There's a Shokan.
Look at that.
Big muscular
That's why they didn't make him a
Shokan.
main character. No one's beating that. I'm saying it.
I mean, you say that, but Goro wasn't exactly top tier in Mortal Kombat X. I mean, he was actually, you know what? No,
He won a major. I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah, late game Mortal Kombat X, I guess, like, you have to give credit.
He was
When
alright in
did you
last match.
start reading the
I
trades?
think almost everyone was okay in the last patch. I like the last patch of MK1. There were like 10 million characters that could be top 5. It just depends on what player you're talking to.
Yep. And this MK1 got a little bit of that last MKX patch where armor exists, but not in any way that launches normally. There's an asterisk in this game where cameo does change that, but not as prevalent as it is in previous titles. But armor's still a great mechanic that has come back in the Mortal Kombat realm that was not there in MK11.
Something that a lot of players, I think, missed in that respect because armor is such a core part of like, modern Mortal Kombat. I'm glad they scale the way they do in this game, though, for sure, but unless you're Kung Lao, I guess. But... all right, Hourglass of Rain. Ooh, hard to block the ball. Cheeky. Gambler still believes in the comeback. Any confirmed fatal blow will do it, and that's it. Boom.
Yep.
That's the round, more than likely.
This is a big damaging one. It's the camera that's so cheeky.
You think you're safe, and then before you know it, Marv
in 4K high definition, caves your chest in with all of the might of Earthrealm.
Wonderful comeback from Gambler. I mean, the moment that combo breaker came out, you were kind of expecting him to like fish for that one big hit to fatal blow. And I was about to say, does not have the meter to confirm off that mid, but we have Goro, so we can turn it into a full combo regardless. You can really start to see the pieces move, why the Goro is such a good pairing for Cage as this game is developing. Nice block. There it is again.
Trying to disrespect that one. Maybe thought the game was going to mistime it and you could sneak in a roll or something. Eating just the Goro on hit's not the worst thing when the risk reward is highly in your favor like that. Gambler still trying to press. Maybe try to down 2 trade with it. Just mistimed. Gambler looked like he was gonna try to forward dash his way in, but if he's trying to bait with it, because he keeps running into that 1-2 when he forward dashes in. I think that's the 3rd time in just a singular game. They just walked up into a 1-2 of Hourglass. Tried to low profile again, not there. Starting to eat this health bar up, and it does Gambler twice. Thinking that he was just going to stagger the stand 2, probably.
Yeah.
Taking a round.
The second time, another instance of just, I don't think you're going to do it again, right? Even if the first one was unsuccessful, but Hourglass of Rain sticking to their guns. throw tech. Ooh, held on to the Goro this time though. Doesn't want to spend too much of that cameo early on in the round.
That's the no mix-up right there, Ketchup. Just Shadow Kick, no Goro. Watch them respect it. Oh, but he's got the answer.
Gambler's just been hit by quite a few stray hits, but it's been enough to add up to about 50% life. Oh my god. He went for the armor reversal. Doesn't matter. Wake up armor. It's a risky play. Aqua, when you have 3 bars and you spend one of those bars on an armored wake up that doesn't work, that is a feels bad man moment.
That it is. That was such a weird game, given all the info that we got from game 1 and 2, because so many raw 1-2s of Hourglass just hit King Gambler, and it's not something that you see every day. This is a guy with I would put him as one of the highest statted defense players that exist in MK1, and even back to MK11. This man was a defensive master. But kept forward dashing 1-2, and there was twice
Commoner.
wake up 1-2s that worked as well. Avoid some of those. Those are leading to massive damage. Big Kung Lao setup combos. Gambler's still in this. Just avoid some of those stray hits. I think they'll be just fine. Starts up with the throw. Hit the deck.
Glass of Rain having to show a lot of respect to Johnny Cage. You know, you might be -3 after that low hat, but if there's one character that's going to catch a button that you're pressing after that, probably Cage's forward 3. Alright, full combo. Low hat maybe. Nope. Holding on to it. Just taking the combo damage, and we now have a full Kung Lao if we need it. Now Gambler. Decent ender. The pressure again. First Goro's been spent. Wasn't ready for the second though.
You don't really expect them to come up all the Goro immediately because of how long the cooldown is. You're like, surely they're not going to. Gambler is this round, and that kind of aggression is going to get it for him. Loads a little bit of star power. Looks like he's fully loaded. There might be a little bit of space there, it looks like. But 3 bars and a dream.
Gambler's often been really good at building the star power, especially between these rounds, but I haven't often seen him have an opportunity to activate it. Might do now, though. Big whiff punish. Hourglass of Rain. Right, where are we going to go? Goro.
I'm shocked we're not like seeing it here just to put the mind games on block there.
I mean,
special, nut punch at any time. Look, I mean, maybe we should sit here and watch him do his work because he doesn't need a single thing but the regular Johnny Cage pressure so far.
We're talking about conditioning and the respect. 2 different down 1s back to back on block. If it wasn't for the Goro cameo, those down 1s would not work, but it is the sheer threat of it. Alright, hang on a minute.
Ooh, the second hit didn't get there in time. It was there, but you see that the speed of the shadow kick just saved a man's life.
Final game incoming. I would like to use this opportunity to remind you all, you know, Gambler, who has been all over the pro competition, both online and offline, getting a minimum 2nd place finish here would be possibly game-changing to his end-of-year chances. So, there's a lot riding on this game. Hourglass of Rain getting at least 2nd place. If they are to win this match, a chance to maybe even have a rematch against Sonic Fox, but grand finals, the buffer of winner's bracket would be quite welcome there, I think.
Round 1, fight.
Regardless of who comes through. But you're right, these points would be so big for Gambler, who's, you know, done one of the best jobs of going and soaking them up from all the offlines in Europe, down in South America. Oh, sorry. Other continent. My bad. No. South America. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You could have just let it rock. I wouldn't have said a word, mate.
Multitude of top 8s here in the Pro Comp. Now a multitude of them here in the online. He's looking so good for Final Combat when it comes to points. That's what I'm getting to.
I believe you. I understand. Back pokes again, but this time quite rightly actually acknowledged. Hourglass of Rain knew the Gambler did not have Goro, so that down 1 wasn't really to be feared as much. Decent trade for Hourglass of Rain, and that's going to be a 1-2 hit confirmed now, bringing this Mileena God to the match point.
Round 2.
Winner's side grand finals, that is the ultimate comfort zone, especially with Sonic Fox currently sitting in loser's bracket.
Gambler caught him backdashing right there. Score knockdown, note, and up block, but disrespects the, I think, lack of frames that existed afterwards. Still into the throw. That one, Mileena, you talked about it earlier. The extra range with that side, it's kind of deceptive.
Oh, absolutely.
And another job where Hourglass put that 1-2 actively where he thought Gambler was going to start to press some buttons or forward dash into the range of him.
Gambler has been having some trouble with the... Oh, my lord. I'm so sorry. There was...
It is 4 a.m. for catch-up, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to fall for the first single thing right now.
No, it's the flawless block on 1-2. That's what I was forgetting about. Yes, it is.
On the overhead?
4 a.m. Yeah. The 1-2... My talking point is already totally irrelevant because we are about to go into a final round if this works out, of which it will. Yeah, sorry about this, folks. It's 4 a.m. here in the UK.
We also just saw that the
different
third hit of the 4-3 string of Johnny Cage's is lost block also.
Indeed. Wake up armored launcher. Hourglass of Rain knows not worth breaking that.
Nor to press there on the super plus advantage that Goro gives you. Gonna raise the roof. Thought string was just gonna come. That's why probably pressing right there, Nate the low hat. That's 2 of them. Puts one out now. It's a beautiful reaction. King Gambler was off on the last one. That cost him big, but when your reaction's there, the word you get has to break.
All right, that's the last breaker King Gambler's going to get this whole match. Flawless block. Didn't believe. I think maybe expected like a low hat or something. Uh-oh, mix-ups. Gambler, armored launcher. Any hit into fatal blow is going to do it here. Lets the 2-on-2 go. Good flawless block. Hourglass of Rain bet the whole farm and Aqua. It didn't work.
I can't believe it.
Absolute. That was a 50-50. That was a, if this armor hits, I'm probably going to win. But if it's blocked, the game is over. Maybe it was a lapse in judgment. Maybe it was just a bit ahead of yourself. Either way, that is going to be King Gambler. Grand finals on the winner's side, minimum second place, and a wonderful injection of important points.
That goes to what I was just saying about King Gambler's defense. That match was won off of a defensive read that almost no one else would have made because Hourglass had been conditioning him for 4 and, some odd change, rounds and games to think that he was only going to be safe and never take a risk like that. And he tried to get him the one time, and Gambler was still ready for it and baited it. That's some pretty Galaxy Brain stuff right there, because that looked like Hourglass had finally been like, okay, he's finally not going to see this just armored reversal coming, and he's pressing a button because he's playing Johnny Cage or whatever was going through the mind of Hourglass that time. It definitely wasn't that, but that's what some of us are probably thinking. It just doesn't work out. Great block by King Gambler. What a comeback. And just the madness continues here. Catch up.
Well, we're going to check out this instant replay of which, powered by Mountain Dew, the finish to this match for me is like the pure example of like the composed veteran, because I feel like 99% of players in that instance would have eaten that EX dive kick 100%. I mean, I absolutely would have eaten that. I think most of us would have. Gambler, in that situation, just had the peace of mind to be like, right, this is one of those cases where Fox has had practice time to think about it, and adjust.
Knows that the opportunity for a run back is very high, right?
Yes.
In a 24-hour period, that's an eternity for Fox to have a target on you and to be in the lab. If the Fox is in the lab for more than 5 minutes, that's a problem.
Well, it's the exact same characters, so it's not like Fox was just... Sometimes when Fox loses to someone in tournament, they kind of have this thing where it's, all these different characters I play, maybe I should pick this one, and it, often works, but Hourglass of Rain making a statement at the start of this set, immediately ball roll. Which, to be fair, is going to be kind of useful against Sindel. If she's doing air projectiles super low to the ground and you just so happen to ball roll, you're clearing that, and you're going to punish her.
Put air there by Fox. Just on some aerial activity. Nice loud trade. Really cool down. And reaction of Hourglass right back at ya.
That 100% seemed like a reaction. in throw again. They're going to be rather safe at the moment. Depends on when the stress starts to add in the set. Now, that move, the sort of tracking ball into the air side, that was hitting Fox the whole time they played yesterday. So I do wonder what Sonic Fox's answer to that one move is going to be. If it might just be waiting for it to whip, I don't know, but we shall see.
In a lethal spot. So many mix-ups available. Caught the aerial, but it was a trade! Instant overhead. The risk from Sonic right now, betting the entire farm. Goes for the low. Gets the space and got some hit advantage. Still not enough with a kill. Another risk of the life on the overhead, and Sonic. The lack of fear just won Sonic around, and that was it. That was incredible.
If I got hit by that many overheads in game one, it would like annihilate my mental stack.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what to expect now. I don't know what to expect.
He just Oppenheimered Hourglass's brain, that's for sure.
Alright, a relatively safe one. That low hat definitely looked like it was more to try and jail the jump in on Wake Up. Full confirm, Sonic Fox. Breaker's enforced. Now Hourglass of Rain. A little bit of Kung Lao to work with, but no meter.
I think that aggression in the last one had got the Hourglass a little bit. Now you see the hesitation in the play, and the whiff will be the death sentence of game one. Sonic off of the comeback is sending the message early.
Absolutely.
What brutality is it?
There is a reason that this combo is continuing.
26 hits. I think that the 26th hit didn't count, but oh my.
That's a statement. Like, for me, that's a statement. Like I said, I don't think there's any like actual sincere negativity surrounding rivalries between players that beat each other in tournament. But that first game of Sonic Foxes, yeah, I mean, I gotta let the people know. I gotta let my opponent know. I gotta let the fans know.
That'd be the longest combo I've ever seen in a tournament.
It's dreadful that Tarkov
And it would be a Sindel combo, wouldn't it? Good lord, she's got big combos. I'm happy to see it though, to be fair. She's always been a pretty stylish character. Here we go.
Game two. Hourglass the one to make the adjustments. That would have been a really smart call out. A lot of people, when they see the Lao hat summoned, they use their own cameo immediately. We've seen that a lot in this tournament tonight.
Especially in the Lao mirror. And by Lao mirror, we of course mean cameos. We haven't actually seen a Kung Lao today, I don't think, on EU, not EU, sorry, East and West.
I don't know, Ketchup. Some of these players will start relying on their cameos. You might as well call them a cameo main.
Maybe. Lots of chameleon mains right now.
A lot of chameleon mains right now.
I personally consider myself a Darius and or Sector main.
I'm a Motaro main. I'm gonna admit it.
I've seen those clips, mate. I've seen the clips.
Any character, I'm all about Motaro.
Glass of Rain, looping it. Man, if you get all three of those hits, that damage is surprisingly chunky for what it is. Dangerous strat. Now, honestly, seeing some of these big, bold decisions, this is almost looking like a complete rerun from when these two collided yesterday. Hourglass of Rain's biggest rounds came from just those bold plays, whether it was instant air, ball into the side, so, you know, that ask and you shall receive, or something completely different.
A great one for him. Barely avoids that low hat. Oh, Sonic uplocked early and recovered so that he couldn't. That's crazy. That's that mind game of when is it actually going to come. An Hourglass.
Hourglass of Rain. One game apiece.
If we see that back in the replays, that was so fun to see. Like even Sonic Fox staring at that and going, "Okay, here are some mind games. How long's he holding it?" And looked for one of the answers, which was the uplock. Just mistyped it.
I must say, excuse me, if Hourglass of Rain is able to double eliminate Sonic Fox,
that's something only what we've talked about this before. Only one or two people have done in the history of Mortal Kombat, even on an online setting.
stress does seem to reign quite high in this instance. Fox taking a moment there. Now that's either just a moment to take a breather, maybe calm yourself down a little bit, or sometimes could be something totally different. They might change character. Knowing Sonic Fox, there's always a chance they'll change character. We did see the Nitara and Chameleon earlier today. Ooh. Wow. Hang on a minute. That's a cool pickup. Pretty expensive usage of meter, but well worth it.
Full was the right word.
Good way to start. Wow, Fox disrespecting a fair amount of hit stun here throughout the course of the series.
Gorgeous. Stared at the face of danger with that stand one sign in his face. Still got the whip punish. Oh, that was so dirty. The Lao hack can come early. Start off with the low. And Sonic Fox is cooking. Cooking with mix-ups with Sonic Fox. I'd watch that.
The right character, it'd be perfect entertainment. Big jump in. Fatal, but I think that's enough. Yes, indeed. That is going to hit its mark, and it's been used early enough in the combo that, by all means, this should kill. If it doesn't, it's a matter of percent. That's enough. Hourglass of Rain 1-0 up here in the next match.
Outside of the down 3 range. No punish there. Still blocking a little bit of the block stun. Gets the pick up there. Dude, the scream so early, almost like a proximity OS. Only was in range.
Right, reverse the range to the corner. An opportunity now. Hourglass forcing the breakout Sonic Fox, but instantly. And that is, like, for me, the day one wonders of the low hats when you charge it, and you just know they're going to jump. Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. What a day one decision to make, but hey, still super effective, mega ultra effective here on the Fox. Hourglass making that one look a little momentum-y.
I mean, comfortable is the word I would use. This is
I wasn't going to say it.
Extreme comfort.
That looked kind of easy.
Yeah.
What a speed run from the youngster.
Possibility of one final game. A 3-0 here would not be expected from me.
2-1.
Nitara.
Hourglass could become, if again, could be wrong, could be the first person ever in an online tournament to double eliminate Sonic Fox in the history of competitive Mortal Kombat.
Hang on a minute, Aqua, though. So we have gone to Nitara, but we've gone Nitara Kung Lao. I actually haven't seen Fox use any other cameo with Nitara except for Chameleon since Chameleon was added to the game. And I mean, I guess that's one way of answering back on the Kung Lao low hat. Fly straight over it.
They one of the biggest instant decisions I've seen to start a match all tournament long. Try to get too aggressive again. Hourglass all over it. Holding the Lao hat. Just go ahead and get aggressive all you want. Still gotta chill down. While Cameo's out. Overhead blocked. Caught him in the recovery. But an escape fail. Just caught him with the right throw. Not throwing back to the corner. Paying off for Sonic Fox there. Close the gap in the recovery. The Lao hat. That was so sick with the movement. The Lao hat did not cover him. Was still underneath it. With the ball roll as Mileena. That was nasty looking.
Glass of Rain's just found so many small opportunities that are just adding up bit by bit. And again, kind of seems no matter what the character matchup is, that charged ball roll into Psy is currently doing its magic. Fatal blows can hit its mark for Fox, and I think that should be the round.
Yes, it is with the judo chop to the throat.
Judo chop.
Judo chop.
Fight.
For the Fox. Wow. They both got hit by the Lao hats in that.
I do believe there's a slightly less delay. Meet you below. We haven't actually seen a ridiculous amount of the Kung Lao stuff yet, and even then, I think that teleport was probably an accident. That pickup was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
We haven't seen that low side blocked in the corner at all.
No, we haven't.
Oh, no way. I think I just got a confirmation that Sonic picked the wrong cameo. meant to pick Chameleon.
So it was a mistake.
Unbelievable. But Sonic Fox making it work.
That is
2-2.
ridiculous. That is where can you even see that was the mistake?
Got a confirmation from someone active in Sonic Fox's chat, and Sonic Fox just put it in the official chat as well. Wow.
That is insane. I'm not gonna lie, it was weird. Like, my first thought when I saw that was, hang on a minute. I haven't seen you use anything except Chameleon. Which also would actually make sense as to why the low hat didn't really get used that much.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of just basic Natara stuff. But what this means is you're stuck with this. You won, and now you're stuck with it again.
And because of, well, there's no swap a cameo from Hourglass, so regardless, no swap. But one of the recent changes to Pro Komp is that you can no longer swap cameo on a win if the loser changes.
Very true. That is a ruling that was, what was it? Was it sort of, was it in the Quan Chi patch around that sort of time?
Yeah, I believe
that
so.
rule was changed. I mean, all right.
Could have come into play here.
Heavy damage at the start.
Okay, still attempting some cool loud hat setups. No big pickup from Hourglass, and look at the price he's about to pay. The iron price.
Big damage. EX is going to get... Oh, you're dead. You're dead, mate. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that is going to be match point Sonic Fox with the wrong cameo on match point. That's a good trade.
That time.
That is a very, very good trade. Shuts down the utility there of Hourglass of Rain.
So grossly spaced with no full conversion.
Ooh. I wonder, maybe the corner, maybe Fox wasn't convinced it was going to reach, or maybe it was going to whiff or something.
You never know if the corner can cause its own shenanigans.
Yeah, I never doubt that one. Good block, but getting hit by the rest of it. Down one, interrupt. Below. What a punish. Hourglass of Rain, that standing one finds its mark. Hang on a minute. Punish. Yeah, we've got the knowledge here. Sonic Fox.
That is some fatal blow specific tech right there.
Yeah. Combination of having the armor, but also just leaping clean over that low hat. All right, we're looking for it. Up block. Whiffed again.
Yeah, it looked like the up block ran out of time. Right at the game.
That overhead block was super, super clutch. But the air roll, Hourglass of Rain, now both players match point. Yo, if Fox loses this, I'm actually going to feel so bad for them, because I've never seen them ever pick the wrong thing in tournament. Ever. This would be a first.
We are in some new territory right now.
If you are a Sonic Fox fan, now is the time to lend the energy. Same can be said for Hourglass of Rain. This is going to be an insane result. Either Hourglass of Rain double eliminates Fox from the tournament, or Fox gets that run back under unfortunate circumstances.
Looked like the up block was there, but let's get an activation on it. You're gonna whiff. Holy crap, that was close.
They take a trade, but that trade does not favor Sonic Fox at the moment. You do not want to take a trade when you're this low.
Well, they actually interrupted the Lao Hourglass, so actually easy now. Red clip. That's gonna be it. Double eliminated is Sonic Fox in the pro competition.
And I must admit, the elephant in the room there, the first time I've ever seen Sonic Fox accidentally pick the wrong thing, which, look, for complete transparency, it's super sick that Fox even made it as close as they did, but there is no getting around the fact that that sucks, and that's really unfortunate. However, what that also isn't is Hourglass of Rain's problem. You know, like, you just... That's your opponent. The matchup is the matchup, and you have to play the best you can. Hourglass of Rain was able to get the job done. Close, had to maintain composure.
It looked like it was still a bit of a problem for her, though, in game 4, if I'm being honest with you, catch up. Even Raw and Natara in the hands of Sonic Fox, that first read at game 4 when he didn't mean to pick Lao and just started off with the air grab underneath the Lao hat. to get started. I mean, that was a big way to start right there. And I feel like Sonic was just feeling the lack of not having Chameleon and having to go a little ham, egg, and cheese there in that game 4. But game 5, Hourglass, so solid. After taking the big risk at 2-2 Sonic Fox up around, and to just out of nowhere, the air ball that connected to give a match point here at the end. And then this last round was just solid beyond belief.
I think that's the best thing about Hourglass of Rain today, is that just being able to sort of just deal with whatever situation, whatever opponent you've got. The sheer amount of just
with no support on it whatsoever, stabbing you in the back the whole time.
Yep.
That's the difference of winners and losers in grand finals right there.
Well, one final series remains. Hourglass of Rain coming in from the losers bracket, so has to win twice here. 2 separate 3 out of 5s. Gambler just has to win this first one to close out the tournament. Gambler, there's a close affair in winners finals. I mean, make no mistake. Who's going to get that first place here? Gambler would very much appreciate a win here. I think with the amount of travel and hard work, even getting to so many tournaments.
And like you said,
would probably breathe a bit easy.
This might sound the way it's going to sound, but he's a little overdue for the big one. And I think you said something similarly earlier.
Wake up, armored reversal. Love it, mate. And we are, like, progressively, as this game evolves, one thing to point out, there is so much more kind of safe jump situations in this game now. Players that end combos in such a way that you can meteor jump on their wake up, and even if they wake up block, they physically don't have time to punish. And if they armor, you can block in time. And that is something we saw in Brazil a ton. And there's that 2-1-2. King Gambler ends it in that star power, locked and loaded. First round of the series.
I think he's used it one time this whole tournament, though. He's loaded it every match.
Yeah, I don't even know how Johnny would do it with Goro, to be honest. Lovely flawless block. Oh, delayed mid, you cheeky man. All right, knocked down. Another jump, but even then, again, up block, but you have no time to do anything about it. Pure safe jumps.
But this would be where I thought, or would think, that most Johnny Cage players and Gambler would use something like a star power, is when they get the first round, they load it, and then they have a health lead. I would activate Mind Game Time. Like uses it so conservatively.
There is a lot of damage on the side of Mileena, though, so one wrong decision, one wrong activation, and that's a whole combo that's probably going to eat through the entire hype meter anyway. Pro tech, good stuff from Gambler. Just happy to just block his way in piece by piece. Try and fish for that one hit. Plus one, challenges the plus frames and pays the price. Aqua, hang on a minute. 1-0 King Gambler, and that was a comfortable win if you ask me.
That's a hard win to get to when someone's coming off the momentum of a loser's run, just beating Sonic Fox. And Gambler's like, nah, I'm just cooking with Johnny Goro. It's fine. Very mentally actually, strong is young Joey right now.
You know what's I have a fun story for those of you in chat. Sonic Fox is actually the reason that King Gambler started using Johnny Cage and Goro in the first place. Really? I actually asked King Gambler, because I always wondered. I asked him in Brazil. I said, okay, so why do you use Johnny Goro? Like, what is it about that team that you're like, right, this is the one I want to play? And he basically just went, it mostly comes down to Sonic. He's like, I was talking to Sonic, and they basically said, while I was, when Cyrax got nerfed, I was like, I don't really know what else to look out for. And Fox said, why don't you try Johnny Goro? It might not be the best thing in the game, but there might be some cheap stuff there. Gambler explores it, and the rest is history. So Sonic Fox lives on just a little bit in this grand final. Gambler
Sonic Fox not only setting their own, Mortal Kombat path in motion, but others as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Top players inspire other top players, and vice versa. It's just the cycle of it. Players help each other experiment. That first round of that second game was pretty dominant there for King Gambler. Hourglass of Rain has kind of just struggled to get back into the game. The moment King Gambler, just establishes this crazy pressure where it's buttons upon buttons upon buttons, even the buff range that are supposedly nerfed are working out pretty well against Hourglass of Rain.
And even though he finally got a bait of the Shadow Kick right there, King Gambler has been more often than not good enough on his reactions to be able to punish the Palau summon had. So I think it's something that Hourglass to be careful of. You need to be careful of what's about to happen in this corner. Pressure's coming.
All that damage from a Shadow Kick, 340. Uh-oh, you have to break. Not necessarily for the damage, but for the situation afterwards. That was brave. That was brave. No Goro was on the side of that.
Final round.
Maybe just wanted the meter build. Never know what goes through these players' minds. Get in the corner. No. Close though.
Hourglass of Rain. I mean, the thing about this matchup too is that Hourglass of Rain is kind of reliant that you either win in the neutral or you can just try and establish some sort of up-close pressure. That pressure is going to be considerably harder now. The low hat has more cooldown. Mileena is sadly one of the other characters that her down one is not very good on block. Those that know Quan Chi know exactly what I'm talking about. And Johnny Cage's 9-frame forward 3, really good at blowing up incredibly minus pokes. Mileena does struggle with that.
Yeah, everyone worried about a lot of the other tools of Johnny. 9-frame advancing mid, baby. What a force on the screen. Hourglass the first lead, though.
Uh-oh.
I think overpressed on the down one there. Didn't get the advantage that he wanted because of the cameo. Overhead blow, and look at the extra damage. Nearly 180. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Hourglass ties up in 1-1.
There's a side of the matchup that is almost somewhat of a saving grace here for Mileena. Like, she's going to struggle defensively, but she's going to have the benefit of high damage. She's going to have the benefit of rather true mix-up. You know, she has got that unseeable overhead low. It may just be sweep and a single overhead, but it is a mix-up. And then you have the low hat stuff as well. So it's all about just capitalizing and making the most of those individual hits that you do land. How much can you squeeze out of every single encounter?
Those hits have been hard to come by in this one.
Yeah.
That's what's made this one a tricky one, is that in that first match you didn't, the first couple matches, you haven't seen a lot of damage.
Yeah, those clean hits when your opponent doesn't have a breaker, it's kind of rare on both sides. Ooh, tried to get the armored reversal. Gambler. Go a bit slow on the release of Goro there.
There's some damage. Oh, could have done 40 plus, but that instead of doing 40 plus, now you're doing 700, and he's dead. Whoa, that was an explosion of a health bar. Completely opposite of what we were just saying in the last one.
I mean, it's the best way to win a round like that, you know. Don't give Johnny Cage a chance to play, because that's kind of exactly what he's trying to do to you. All right, Goro. Another one of those beautiful safe jumps. Standing on the low side.
I love that Hourglass isn't afraid to mix up the low side anywhere on the screen, just for the simple fact to keep it a mix-up and to keep opponents guessing. You lose a bit of an advantage, it hits you back a lot, so I don't know if you get the pressure off it, but keeping people on their toes.
You just can't let your opponent get comfortable. Like, the second they get comfortable blocking something like that, if they get comfortable, they're looking at flawless block as well. You know, there are so many layers to that 1-2 string that if they have to worry about an option before the flawless block even exists, that's a big win for you, because now already Gambler getting clipped here.
Oh, that's working. Oh, no, startup. Startup.
No time.
Activation. Never mind. Even though it's a parry, it has to get to the activation of it first.
I mean, look, you won't see me complaining about that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that parry activated on frame 1? Either one, I'm glad it doesn't.
I was trying not to come across like I was complaining, because I was trying to give it a little laugh to it. I was like, yes, I got cooked.
Yeah, I mean, if that was active on frame 1, that would just be like instantly the best parry, like without a shadow of a doubt. But how about that? Currently now 2-1, Hourglass of Rain. Winning this next match would reset the bracket and start us all over again. Man,
yeah, we're in a different match now.
If Hourglass of Rain can win this tournament, that is going to be one of the most impressive paths of an online MK1 tournament thus far, I think.
Whoa. He did that Goro so early that it was completely out of the way. Wasn't ready to fully capitalize, though. As a couple straight hits. That was a weird trade.
A good trade for Gambler, though, because it means he doesn't take the whole thing. Gets out of the situation. Man, Hourglass of Rain is just playing so clean. All of these individual hits are just perfectly placed. Sticking out those down ones from range, though. You gotta watch out for that against Johnny Cage's forward 3. Oh my good god, the micro duck there, Aqua. Insane.
Oh! Had enough time to do it again! That's unfortunate.
To do it again.
Oh, this wasn't close with the corner for the stand 4 conversion in the fatal, which maybe it didn't want. He's still gonna need one more mix-up. Team's list and Hourglass. That was a little bold. Gambler had some bar for some last breath.
Not in the first round,
And
he didn't.
it was that teleport that cost him winners finals.
Mm-hmm. But significantly less risky because that was the first round, so he would have had to flawless block it. Now this is reset point. Reset point, folks. The Hourglass of Rain gets this round, we will start again. Looks like we're beginning of the end of our first set. It looks like, oh my god, we are just doing it. That is the Mileena special. Love it. And these micro ducks. Micro ducking against Johnny Cage is so often a death sentence, but Hourglass of Rain has gotten so comfortable doing it. We are now down to a final set, and Gambler probably going to have to take like, you know, a minute or so to just sort of like gather, collect thoughts, think about it, because when you're fighting Johnny Cage and you're successfully, constantly micro-ducking Johnny Cage, who has a 9-frame hit confirmable mid, he is like the worst character to do that against. On paper, like it's almost like foolish to go for it. But when it works that much, you are in King Gambler's head. You're in the zone. Whatever step he's at, you're one step ahead all the time. So you have to stabilize now. Otherwise, Hourglass of Rain is just going to run away with this.
Begins drawing first blood with a Lao hat that gives him the first bar meter. And one of the few throws that we've seen in this entire set. And I'm shocked that both of them aren't throwing more. I know microduck exists, but hasn't been as prevalent as you would think in a matchup that's all around those quick staggers, a lot of jailing pressure to try to, you know, force people into respect. Not today in Hourglass. Oh, we're on a flawless right now. Gambler not even going to spend the meter. I think is just going to accept the fate that has happened so far. Post reset, getting flawless. Hourglass.
Not the greatest
I think
way
he
to
touched the
start.
Hourglass with the way he's playing.
Okay. Tactical side switch, double roll.
I know where he got the name from. I think that he killed Gearus, and he now controls the Hourglass.
Oh, Gambler tried to parry. Ate a sweep for his troubles. Getting just rather overwhelmed at the moment, it looks like. Which is sadly not the way you really want to start these sort of post-reset series off. Uh-oh, the break. You have to break. But no! Goes into the unbreakable air side, so by the time you break, there's even extra damage you don't want to take. And this is... Aqua, this is kind of worst case scenario if you're King Gambler, because the momentum just, it's all Rain. He doesn't have a shred of it.
And it's only growing. He just did that while holding on to all 3 bars of his meter, and it looked like he had all the time in the world to sit there and just react, because he's just in that much of a zone and a space, and he's feeling himself right now. Hourglass of Rain. Look out.
I think he's looking absolutely fantastic. You know, I've always known that Hourglass of Rain is so insanely strong, but I don't often get...
I think only 17 years old.
Truth be told, I don't often get a lot of opportunities to watch him because a lot of the American tournaments that he competes in are always quite late at night, you know. Full disclosure, it's almost 5 a.m. here in the UK, so apologies if I sound quite tired.
Oh, yeah,
I promise I am invested in the matches. It's just that, you know, a lot of these players I don't get to watch as regularly as maybe some players in other parts of the world, so being able to check him out here is just super, super impressive.
Same. We've gotten to here on the NA side of things. We've got to see Hourglass play a lot in things like Champions of the Realms and Coliseum. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Hourglass real quick. 17 years old, and one of my favorite things to see ever in this space right now, especially in online tournaments, is Hourglass of Rain has a father who is in every Twitch chat rooting for his son in events like this. So shoutouts to Hourglass of Rain's father, who's always in the chat, always rooting for his son, pulling for him to be one of the best in Mortal Kombat. That's what I like to hear, baby.
I absolutely love that. That is so wholesome. And Gambler, when they were playing earlier, he was just absolutely on it with that flawless block with 1-2, but he just has been struggling with it now. Which unfortunately is not great against Mileena, because that you have to neutralize that string, otherwise he's running away with it. Goes in for the brave air Psy. And that was kind of one of those cheeky decisions, right? Had the Psy landed, it would have been rolled, it would have been fatal blow or something similar. Gambler.
Just shadow kick that stand one.
Mate, he's fighting back with the savage. That's what you want.
That's one way to stop it. Oh, he leaves you restanding. What a win-win situation. Hourglass, that forward for Lauhat has been one of the most effective things that he's done so far in the top 8. Simple, effective, big damaging. Restanding, Gambler. Pressing as many buttons as he can right now on the offense. He's blitzkrieging right now into Hourglass.
Good situation here for King Gambler.
Oh, shadow kick Goro. Love to see that.
Flawless block. Ooh. Didn't believe though. Didn't want to risk it. I do wonder if 1-2 into low hat. Perhaps that is perhaps that beats 2-1-2 for Johnny Cage. Because Gambler, he's gone for 2-1-2 after the 1-2 quite a few times. And most of the time it has worked, but I've never seen it exchange with a low hat. So that might be one of the few things that stuffs it. Otherwise, Gambler surely would just go for it every time. But that's it. You tighten up those flawless blocks, you tighten up that offense. You're not getting clipped by some of those kind of last-minute 1-2s that have been consistently catching Gambler.
Careful, Cage, lest you get burned.
That's what you want to see. Post-bracket reset, you do not want your opponent to instantly go 2-0 up, because that is just momentum. Most players physically cannot pull that.
That's a hard hole to crawl out of. That's, you know, you're in the coffin and the guy's already nailed in like 7 of the 9 nails needed to secure your fate. So don't crawl out though. Gambler has tied us up in one apiece. Avoided all the loud mix-ups and straight raw damage. He simply wasn't able to in game 1 of this one, where he just fell for like every hit of Hourglass right there. That whip punish is insane. Raw shadow kick, that's been the difference making.
But again, like, more of those shades. Hourglass of Rain is just finding the perfect time to constantly just stick out that 1-2 and catch Gambler either not blocking, pressing the button, fatal blow. I like this. This fatal blow is really smart because it's going to do sufficient damage to give Gambler a second bar of meter, or just shy of it. But most importantly, it's giving us time to get Goro back, and that is the ultimate goal. One more Goro with the health that's left here should be enough to win the round before Hourglass of Rain can play.
Is there any kind of read there? No, just holding it out.
Oh my God.
Even at the highest possible level of this game, that makes people look silly, and it just does. And I love it. Once that thing starts revving, everyone's like, "Oh shit, here we go!"
Oh man, that's a hard one. It's a hard one to take. Either way, though, Gambler, you do have full Goro now, mate. All 3 bars.
Yeah, he's got some resources. I don't think that Hourglass of Rain has gotten hit by many poke specials at all.
Definitely a know your enemy situation.
He's done such a good job, especially in the corner, of just waiting out both Goros. Gambler has been very loose with him in that corner pressure, giving up, you know, just a single string into the down one rising Goro assist every single time. He's got 3 bars of meter. Hourglass probably gonna check these unbreakable, goes to the sweep. The second hit there, but Gambler had just spent the bar, and so gone was his breaker and with his hopes of winning that game. And now it is 2-1 Hourglass. Post reset, this is going to be a tournament point. This could be the tournament of Hourglass's life all of a sudden. What is happening?
You know, players always have those moments that ascend them to the next level. A lot of the time, it does come down to one specific online result. Excuse me.
Especially here in the Mortal Kombat community.
Yeah,
so
for
many
sure.
of our best players of all time right now have come from a situation like this.
Okay, I'll say it. That look's got me bugging.
Has me wondering if we can see Hourglass of Rain. It'd be great to see them compete at like a combo breaker or something similar. They would become quite the player to keep an eye on, I think, especially in a bracket like that. However, let's not get ahead of ourselves because this tournament is still underway and this is still a grand finals. King Gambler, he may be down, but as they say, not out. Ooh, there's the confirm. Would have been a Goro assist, so good break there from Rain. And Gambler, you know, I'm gonna have to be like a bit personally biased here. You know, I've got to back my boy.
I get it.
Just seeing his grind and spending a lot of time with him in Brazil, like this guy just absolutely adores this game, and he adores competing in it. You know, he loves going around the world. He loves playing in all these events. I know how much a first place would mean to him from a points perspective.
Oh,
It'd
no.
be nice to see, but is that going to work? Yes, indeed.
Forcing the break, if anything. Oh, the up backs right now.
Patience. No, not again. Not again.
Not unblockable. That looked like it had the timing of the up block. And
Tournament
what composure by Hourglass. One hit at a time. What belief from the young man in that one?
I mean,
No
belief is
concession whatsoever.
Delicious anti-air as well. Low hat. Begins. Staggers the throw. One of the first times Hourglass of Rain has done that all tournament, saving that one for a rainy day.
Oh, underneath it all, too. Except here, one more Goro eats that one.
I didn't even know Kung Lao was there until he disappeared.
He was hiding behind the biggest boy that exists.
Goro just obstructing the whole view.
Just eclipsed him.
Hit confirm. No breaker here for Hourglass of Rain, so we'll have to hold this entire thing.
Juicy.
A little bit of time for Goro to come back, but not enough. All right, there is a Goro available. And you quite rightly pointed out, you know, not falling for these counter pokes. Special into Goro has always been blocked or crouched.
Yeah, and then Goro goes on that big old cooldown, which he is right now, and gives Hourglass a couple of chances. Oh no, there's the ball of death.
Ooh, that was it. Possible chip damage. Wake up attack, maybe.
Madness from Hourglass. The flawless block is Hourglass of Rain.
Believe it.
For it, no.
Gambler had that. He had the game. Something there just went horrifically wrong. I think it was the string he didn't confirm to. I need to watch the replay because that happened so fast.
Yeah, it really did. That was quick. It was lethal. It was Hourglass of Rain winning this tournament.
That was, I need to watch the replays of that because I have to see how that ended. I don't want to 100% sit here and be like, that was a mistake from Gambler, but I feel like there was some kind of hit that just wasn't fully capitalized on there that then led to the flawless block at the end.
That flawless block, like it was in the middle of a string, and I was like, man, how did it even come out? What was even flawless blocked?
Honestly, I think it was like the first hit, and then like the second hit got blocked immediately, which led to like the whole sequence of string, uppercut, Goro, and then micro duck at the end.
And then the micro duck was
insane.
Hourglass of Rain, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who Hourglass